Hello. This is the 73rd Test from the Future, an experimental podcast from the year 2222, which I am sending from my present to yours. My name is Dirk, and I'm putting the past in podcast. So, you can hear me saying I, because Simon isn't there. So, we're still doing the podcast together, don't worry. But today is just me, because Simon is on a telekinesis boot camp, or at least that's what he's told me. So I promised him to record anyway, because we could wait. I basically skip another week, but that would be bad. But he really just couldn't make it. It's a camp with a lot of people, so he just had to be there. So because he can record episodes by himself, we thought I probably managed to. And he explained me how everything worked. I see this number counting up, so it must be I've been pressing the right buttons. So I hope it's all working. He even told me leave a few seconds of not speaking at the beginning, so whatever, noise cancelling. I don't understand most of that, but I did that. So yeah, it's just me. I'm not at home. I'm also not at Simon's place. I thought if it's just me, it would be too boring if I'm just going to be at my place. So I picked a nice location. I'm on top of one of the skyscrapers in Skyline Park. It's called the DB Tower. I don't know where that comes from. If you've listened to previous episodes, that you know, Skyline Park is a place in Frankfurt where there used to be a lot of skyscrapers. A lot of them were demolished, but the place where they used to be is basically a park now, so that's kind of overgrown. The remaining skyscrapers, some of them are actually still in use, mostly as living quarters, and a few are actually not really in use, and they've been overgrown with nature basically. And I'm standing on top of one of them. I think it's probably the biggest one. And it's basically, nature has not just taken over by itself, but we have basically put soils on top and in the building to encourage nature. So there's grass here, there's bushes, there's even little trees. And I'm not sure if it's being picked up by the recording, but you can hear the wind rustling through the trees. There's even some birds and some insects actually. It's if you didn't know any better, you didn't even realize you were basically on top of a really tall building. I think it's the 50-something floor. I'm not sure how high it is, but from where I'm standing, I don't even see the edge. And if I walk around, you can probably hear the rustling. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. But it's basically, it feels like a tiny forest on top of a skyscraper. That's actually what it is. Anyway, I thought, you know, when I'm not chatting to Simon or not talking tech, at least I can tell you a little bit more about what the future looks like. And I thought, I'm actually on my way somewhere, but I stopped because I remembered I promised to record. So basically, steered the hoverboard this way and just jumped off. And I thought I'll just describe what I see around me. So for the people that don't know Frankfurt, not sure how much sense it will make, but the people that do maybe recognize still something. So I already described how it looks immediately around me. I can walk a little bit to the edge. Not too fast because it suddenly appears. I know there's a fence, but still I want to be careful. Well, mostly around me there's air traffic. So mostly people on hoverboards, because I mean it's a big city, doesn't make sense to take the car for most things. So people are taking hoverboards, but there are some cars flying around as well. And a little further down is the central station, and from there the shuttles are leaving regularly to head to far away destinations, mostly outside of Earth, moon shuttles, Mars shuttles and such. So some are taking off in the other direction, and some are actually passing pretty close to the skyscraper. So if that happens, then you'll definitely hear. And then around me, if I look down, there's the park, and on the floors below me there's an art gallery basically on the top floor, and a little bar / restaurant where they have a lot of congos lined up. Something for everybody's taste. And then around me are the remaining skyscrapers. At least the one closest by. It's 2 towers intertwining. That one is actually in use, although it's too far away to make out any inhabitants inside. Okay, that's the closest environment. Okay, I'm now actually at the south side, and at the south there's the River Main. So you can see it from here. You can see it shimmering in the distance, and it's one bridge. Used to be many bridges apparently. Oh, I think there's a shuttle coming. So I'm not sure if you can hear everything. I will just speak up louder. It's a moon shuttle. Those are relatively quiet. And then there's one bridge. There used to be many, but mostly there's just lines of teleporters on both sides of the river, so you can easily jump back and forth from one side to the other. So beyond that is the Olympic Stadium from when they hosted the Winter Olympics. The Summer Olympics a few, decades ago. The Frankfurt Olympics. So for you in the future, for us in the past, nothing exciting there. Beyond that is where the airport used to be. The terminal that's now the 21st Century Hotel, and the tarmac behind it, where there's now basically race tracks where you can use vehicles that have wheels, like carts, and you can try jetpacks and basically 21st century stuff that you guys know, and I just know it from there. Okay, I'm kind of at the corners. If I'm walking to this direction, I can look at the east as well. Well, there you see, in the distance you can clearly see Ober-Offenbach. Well, this is not going to mean much to anybody, but Offenbach is a city close to Frankfurt, and they have a floating city above it as well, which is called Ober-Offenbach. And its only interesting landmark is the fact that it has a waterfall going down into the mine, because Offenbach also borders the mine, so it goes straight from Offenbach itself into the river. Not sure how they get the water up there, but that's how it works. So walking to the north now, that's going to take too long for the recording. Then you're just going to hear me walking. I'll still walk in that direction, but I'm already going to say what I can see from there. It's the Feldberg volcano crater that erupted, I don't know how many years ago, a long time ago, when I was small anyway. I think it was during the under the weather period. No big damage, but since then we have a volcano crater. It's popular with the tourists, and it's like a dormant volcano at the moment, but the crater is still pretty impressive. There's a lake down there now. So, and then to the west is where I'm heading. That's the wall. There's a lot of entertainment things there. Maybe we can do an episode about this at one point. All kinds of things to entertain yourself. And I'm going to a pub quiz at the moment. Actually, I'm going to play a few rounds of looting without Simon this time, but I'm meeting up with a few friends. And Mozart is going to be there. Napoleon is going to be there. It's going to be fun. Anything else? Not really. Hold on. I promised. You can get in touch with us, and we even appreciate that. You can send us an email to mikealassanja5@gmail.com with the episode number in the subject 73, which means then we'll know that this episode reached you in the 21st century. So we, in the 23rd century, know that this episode made it back successfully. You can add more things in the email, optional, questions, ideas, whatever, and if it fits to the show, then we will answer it on air. But we won't answer your email because you'll be able to read it in 200 years. Okay, that's it. Solo episode in the pocket. The wind is picking up. I'm gonna head off to the wall now. So, see you in 200 years. Bye bye. I'm doing Simon's part. Bye bye.